at this point, if you lost your job or you're someone that's because most of those jobs that are lost, shout out to MLT, I saw his thing. You'll never be able to get them again. Just think about this. Because I'm still dabbling in the shoe shit, right? So imagine all the shoes sitting in a fucking Foot Locker in the mall or some shit right now that's not being sold. You know what I'm saying? That bro, you never you they done pretty much moved everything digital to where if you want to cop a shoe, it's everything online now. Same thing with most of the stuff. Malls, this just you know how we've been saying for like at least a year now. Malls are dying. Malls are dying. This just officially like killed the mall. You know what I'm saying? Just that. Imagine how many businesses are in a big ass mall as it is. So the thing is, man, if you're working a retail job, punching a cash register or walking around a store and just customer service, that shit is pretty much dead, bro. And if you are not in the position to, you know what I'm saying, where you're already working on some type of STEM degree or whatnot, it's gonna be, and you already don't have a job, you don't have a form of income, you don't have a source of income, you don't a lot of these people, you're 30 years old, are you really gonna go back to school? You're not gonna be able to get a loan because your credit shit's gonna be fucked up. You don't have a way to pay the loan back and all these other things, bro. I just think, bro, what's really going on and what we seeing right here, bro, is, man, a transition to some shit that you heard about in the movies and shit. And then all I know, Fastest Life is up here, a lot of these conspiracy theories and shit, bro. But if you look at a lot of these things, bro, we gonna see this shit like here full fledged within at this point, like maybe 10, 15 years.
Oh, not yet.
They don't even want to take cash, bro. They don't want to take cash here. They want cars only. So that's the first steps to making cash obsolete. Because germs, that's the easiest way to spread germs, right? The actual transfer of your hand to theirs, somebody else's, and the social distancing thing. And bro, and it's not just here. This is worldwide. I seen this shit where they had motherfuckers walking around in Dominican Republic. They broke up the fucking domino game, man. So this ain't just some shit that where like a lot of people gonna think it's conspiracy this and conspiracy that. I know y'all saw I showed the shit on my thing where they whooping niggas in the street in motherfucking India or Pakistan or somewhere sticks, bro.
Your ass outside. That shit is crazy. I seen that video. I seen that. That shit is wow.
This shit is worldwide, man. So this is gonna be a tough one, bro. It's gonna be really tough here. Well, I'm not gonna say it's a joke, man, because the shit is really, really here. No, whether it's contrived and this is all a big plan or whatever, or it's coincidental, which I don't believe the whole coincidence shit. But however it goes, this shit is happening worldwide, bro. And like I said, if you're not already on the ball at this point, you need to be doing everything you can do. With the people are able to apply for unemployment. They say up to 4 years at this point. You're gonna get this little stimulus check or whatever the fuck, man. You need to be doing, and you're gonna have to learn to make shit stretch, man, and invest in yourself wisely. Because if you don't, you're gonna be one of them people that's just ass outside, man.
It's just like this whole gay marriage thing. You know what I mean? Like they started off of this, we just want gay marriage, but now if you look, they talk about teaching kids about anal sex in preschool. They're drag queens. Yeah, so it's called the boiling the frog, bro. They can't do it in one generation. They have to put this idea in the kids' mind.
You start with the kids, bro. And that's and I know you niggas hate it, but again, that's some shit that they talk about in books with Aleister Crowley and fucking Blavatsky and all these motherfuckers that tell you if you want to changing the world and changing the way the world thinks starts with the children. All right, not adults. That's why they tell you can't teach the old dog new tricks. That's why you know what I'm saying, you have pushback and you have people that oppose, alternative lifestyle as it is. And y'all know with the alternative lifestyle shit, what's coming, bro. They it's another letter they trying to add to this motherfucker. And like I said,
another one?
Once it's there, hey, you already know what it is, bro. The shit that niggas keep fucking hollering around this bitch.
P letter, right?
Oh, yeah, the P letter. The P letter. Wow. Because like Dula just said it, bro. That shit was heavy, and you got to think about it too. They do it in waves to see everything that's trying to get you to have your mind change. They have to do like test runs. That shit was heavy early last year with the whole drag kid thing. Bro, they even had a whole sector of YouTube dedicated to like the drag kid, and they were little boys, of course, right?
Yeah, the
So
trans kids, right?
yeah. No, not trans kids, drag kids. He was a drag kid. There was this little boy, and they had one of the little boys on a photo shoot with a naked fucking man, and they had one dude on in a gay bar performing in drag in front of a whole bunch of gay men in a gay bar. So just imagine what would happen to any father if you were a father, right? A black man as a father, and you took your daughter into a fucking adult establishment, just a bar. We ain't talking like no strip club or so on and so forth. And you had her bring her dance around and men throw money at her. What would happen to that whole fucking club? The police, but not even the police, nigga. The feds would kick the door in. Everybody would get fucking arrested that was even walking in front of that motherfucker. And you'd be called the worst piece of shit ever. You'd be labeled a fucking, a child predator, all this, that, and the other. But yet still, this was promoted, bro. This was promoted on national news that they had this little boy dressed in drag performing in a gay club in a gay bar with men throwing money at him on camera. And let's not even get into the whole Dwayne Wade and his whole ass and what he's doing to his son. This shit is orchestrated, bro. This shit ain't no coincidence, bro.
You're talking about that Desmond is amazing, dude.
Yep, that dude.
Yeah, he was on ABC with Michael Strahan introducing him. Like, Desmond is amazing. They had a whole crowd of people cheering him on.
And so, Michael Strahan kissed the trainee, man. That's the part that really sick, man. He kissed that trainee.
Whoa.
Yeah, you go look at the video.
Wait,
look at the video.
Dog. Come on, man.
Look at the I kid you not. Look at the video when the trainee came on, he gave a little side kiss on the cheek like it was a woman. I kid you not.
Bro.
I kid you not.
You know how they get down in Hollywood, man. So I ain't really surprised. I heard shit about Buddy anyway. All the motherfuckers. That's like when Terry Crews
was like crazy, man.
Terry Crews was like, he grabbed my junk. Like, huh? What?
In front of his wife. Come on, man.
That nigga, and he didn't leave.
If he feel comfortable enough to do that, we already know what's up.
They can brainwash the youth into thinking this shit is normal. Like, you can basically have a fish that lives in sewage, and they don't know it's living in sewage until you take them and put them in fresh water.
Yep.
So that's what they're doing now, bro. They literally are putting this programming in place so that once we get older and you have youths coming up into power, it's perfectly fine getting searched at the airport. It's perfectly fine having checkpoints to make sure you don't have a disease at certain state lines. They already doing that now.
Yeah, they're doing that shit in China heavy. They're doing that shit in China, man. Like you said,
they're doing that shit here.
QR health card.
They're doing that shit here. They literally are stopping New Yorkers at the New Jersey border saying, hey, you got to go automatic quarantine for 14 days. They already doing that shit here, bro.
So basically, the New World Order and all, so the conspiracy theories, all the shit they've been talking all these years, did people not give them enough credit? Did people not get the conspiracy theories enough credit?
No, they didn't, bro. Listen. Again, Ramil, I said this on your channel, bro. Conspiracy is a word in a dictionary for a reason. The United States government will charge your ass with a conspiracy for a reason. You know why? Because conspiracies are real. You have people that it's thousands upon thousands of books and everything, bro, that tells you about all this shit that's going on. And it's so many things, like you tell Project Paperclip, Project Bluebird, all these things, the shit that COINTELPRO, all this shit that people didn't never even know about, bro, that the government has done. Bro, the shit that the government done admitted to fucking, knocking motherfuckers off and shit, bro. Bro, this shit is deep, super deep, bro. And a lot of people just be like, ignorance is bliss, because you don't really want to think about the shit. Because once you know about, what a debt slave is and fiat money and what the really fucking deal is and so on and so forth, bro, you never see the world the same again, bro.
Exactly. So behold the pale horrors, the cracking the code manual, all that stuff. People did not give it enough. Because, people really talk about these authors were crazy. And I was young, I used to read all this stuff all the time. And, I never really casted it out. I never said this ain't going to happen. I always had an open mind to it. But, some people, you used to bring it up to them. What are you talking about? You can't believe that. But when you see everything going on now, even myself, I have to look at this like, goddamn, dog.
Hey, let me tell you something. Look up Event 201. Everybody look up Event 201. They plan They planned this down to the T. They even thought about what's going to happen, how people are going to question the narrative. Look it up. They did a whole like 5-hour thing associated with governments, man. This has been planned out before it even happened. We're living the conspiracy now. That's the thing what people have to realize. This is 3 months ago, we would have thought this was a conspiracy if somebody said this was going to happen.
Yeah, the Event 201 was backed by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and they gamed out, and it was like 2 weeks before the entire outbreak started taking place. They gamed out this entire scenario, but instead of China and bats, it was Brazilian pigs. But they gamed out this entire scenario, bro.
I'm gonna go to spiritual next. Let me do super chat. Shout out to Abner for the $4 super chat, and also shout out to Tackman for the $2 super chat. He says these Pontiac trans out here catfishing on a daily. Yeah, man, shit crazy. Yeah, go ahead, spiritual.
What's even worse about this is the fact that they're setting a new normal. Because they're already saying that doctor that Trump is using is already saying that the coronavirus is definitely coming back in September. So they're setting a new narrative based on this lie that is so subjective, it's not founded, that they can keep on saying, oh, we need to force mandatory vaccines. You're going to have they can say anything now. They gave the government unlimited power to say if they want to implant in a digital certificate to show you've been vaccinated for you to travel, for you to work a business. They're making it so you're going to be literally.
So you think that's coming next? So you think that's coming next? They're pushing the
vaccine. Well, I'll put it this way: they're pushing a vaccine so hard. It's like they're saying that the coronavirus, we can't cure it; it's going to mutate. So they're basically saying the only thing that you need to depend on and trust is their narrative that our vaccine, which Johnson and Johnson has put $450 million into the government to fund. They're already starting to fund this. The same company that's putting asbestos in their baby powder is funding this vaccine, and they're going
to talk and they
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So if y'all want to get the stocks on Johnson and Johnson, watch them. But
that powder is bad for you. And
I'm trying to tell you, bro.
I wanted to add to what Mr. Fantastic said about that the government and the military especially can basically take you to court for conspiracy. Now, like, for those who don't know, do you know why the government always have to declassify certain quote-unquote secret paperwork? That's why certain things, like when we learn in history about the quote-unquote giving the native smallpox, those information was classified. Once the government declassified the information, that's why they were able to teach it in school. So any information they allow us to have must be declassified. That's why Fantastic is right. Like, conspiracy theorists, there are certain things they are afraid to say because, like Alex Jones, he was taken to court, even though, those information he say could be true, but because it was not declassified, they hate him with that particular information, you see?
Did y'all know in Rhode Island, they're going door to door with the National Guard trying to see who's been in New York? The National Guard is going door to door, dragging people out of their house, forcing them to say who's been in New York. This is unlimited military power. This is already pretty much, their martial law is in place. They're just being nice about it. They're being real nice right now.
So do you think by the end of this year, here's my thing, man. Like, it's not enough. The population is way bigger than the National Guard or any military sector. And everybody has guns. So would they be able to enforce something on that national level? Because since the population outweighs,
look, they got the military in place, bro. They can get real serious in a minute. They waiting for something to pop off, man. They getting everything in place. They setting up National Guard.
I'm saying, but the military is only about 3 million people, right? Or 4 million, but the American population is hundreds of millions.
But check it out.
They have the technology they have right now. They have new technology that can disperse a huge crowd with just sound. They've been developing this stuff for years, bro.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's true.
And check it out. You don't need a whole army of folk if you have people scared and policing themselves.
That's the main thing.
Yeah,
do look out the point, man. Everybody ain't strapped. A lot of these states have to where you can't even really own a gun. Just think about Chicago, Ramil. I mean, the only motherfuckers that got guns is
that's true.
Criminals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so Chicago. It's hard as hell to get a gun in Chicago. That's true.
And now they control our food supply.
Same thing in New York City. The only
go ahead, Fantastic.
Yeah, same thing in New York City. The only motherfucker with guns in New York City are the criminals. So again, you got certain areas that have such strict gun laws or make it so hard for you to get a gun that a lot of these people don't have that type of thing.
And the direction this can go head to, like people in charge literally have the power to literally incorporate a totalitarian, authoritarian government right now, and it's very possible. And I can see it with my own eyes. You know, I'm the type of nigga I don't believe it till I see it. You know what I mean? But
hey, Ramil, don't worry. You'll see the flat Earth real soon when they come out.
I don't know about that.
But think about this. But think about this. If they collapse cash, suppose they just collapse our economy, because a lot of people think this is a cover for them just resetting everything. They get rid of cash and money as we know it. All the money we have doesn't exist no more. We can't use it for nothing. And then they reset everything into some digital, world digital thing that you got to have all their requirements for you to survive, for you to work, for you to travel, for you to do that. That's what this can go into. They could just shut everything that we've been using down. Your money in your bank account don't mean nothing. If you don't have their requirements, your vaccine, your implant, your surveillance, your whatever, your social ideology, credit score, whatever, you won't be able to survive. And how many people out of fear?
That's the exact system they have in China right now. They have a social credit system where if you act up, you say something wrong that the government does not like, you associate with someone. They shut you down. You can't do nothing.
You can't ride a train. You probably can't even go shopping and get food, man. I mean, look, you know they have smart locks now that they can digitally lock your door to your own house by remote. It's just getting serious, bro. They could go around and literally just control every aspect of our life to just total, like, think about the prison that we're in right now. If you leave the house, $5,000 fine, jail time. While they letting prisoners out on the street.
Yeah,
come on, bro.
And if people can't see this, we've been saying all this, but we call tinfoil crazy, Bible thumping and all. Right? And
man, let me just say this, man. Look, when it comes to that vaccine, when it comes to the coronavirus, look, man, that I'm gonna just say, man, that shit ain't no big deal, man. Exactly. It's the economy. It's the economic effects. It's the economic effects. It's the economic effects of what this pandemic is producing. But the actual virus itself, that shit is bullshit, dog. I'm sorry. That's my opinion on it. That's where I'm at with it now.
This thing.
Bro.
Man.
You're right, bro.
Go ahead.
BS. It's BS, man. You got to be real. This is BS, man. This is going exactly the way they planned this to go. This has been long in play, bro. Like, think about how quickly they got this legal stuff in place, man. This is pushing the world into a total system where we have no rights and control, where only people basically, they're using the fear tactic and this fear tactic. They shut down the entire world for a disease that still hasn't killed as many people as what they call the real flu. And I said this on a previous stream. Let me tell you what this flu and viruses really are. All right, your body gets overloaded with stuff, right? Toxins and chemicals. Remember, this is all the medical industry is not going to tell you all the chemicals they're putting in everything. They're not going to tell you what foods to eat. Stop eating processed foods. So your body gets a critical mass of getting filled with toxins and chemicals. And then it tries to cleanse itself and heal itself. And that's why fever and mucus and all this stuff happens in your body. It's a cleansing, healing, elimination process. You can call that whatever name you want, corona, influenza, whatever. The processes are just symptoms. The symptoms are just your body trying to cleanse itself. And see, instead of people just using common sense and stop eating the garbage food they're eating every day, smoking cigarettes, doing all the dumb stuff they're doing every day. Why you worry about a virus when you've been doing everything that's killing you anyway? Think about it.
Exactly. Just like with the foods, like exactly what you was talking about. I was in the grocery store the other day, and now you know how they were saying you need to like get food for like 30 days or whatever. People are literally buying meat that will last a week or two. It's like, how dumb can you? But you ain't touching the can. It's like, how dumb can y'all be?
But not just that fake food, man. Like, people are dying. You know how many people were dying before this happened? The same amount is dying now.
And something else that need to be talked about too is for all these people who vote and care about the governor and all that bullshit. Like, this just shows you how little y'all government actually gives a fuck about y'all. They don't give a fuck about y'all at all. Like, seriously. So it annoys me when people talk about, oh, I'm finna vote for this, I'm finna vote for that. It's like, nobody ever questioned if that stuff is ever right. Because this is my thing. If voting was 100% accurate like people try to claim it is, it would be no such thing as a recount. It would be no such thing. And on top of that, these motherfuckers are already rich. Why would somebody rich worry about a motherfucker who poor that they need to keep working for them? Like, we obviously seeing they do not care. They do not care. Do you know how many people, like even with the stimulus thing, it's people out here who don't have funds set up to where if something happen, they have money left over. They saying it's gonna take like 4 or 5 weeks for them people to get their money or whatever. You know how many people gonna be dead by then? If this thing is real or whatever, you know how many people gonna be dead?